Welcome back to the Outstanding in Our Field podcast. I'm Pastor Dave Berry from the Praise and Worship Family Outreach Center in Jasper, Tennessee. Again, I always try to explain our title. I'm not looking to be prideful or anything like that or tell you how outstanding I am, but I'm trying to get people to understand the principle that they need to get outside the four walls and stand in the mission field that God has placed them in, their job, their grocery store, their neighborhood, their own home, wherever it is that they can begin to share, spread the seeds of the gospel, spread the mission of the gospel and the purpose of Christ in the earth today. And so this is what we want to talk about. I'm going to concentrate on parables and stories that Jesus told that explained sowing, and reaping, and harvest, and seed time, and all of these kind of things. So we want to focus on these things and share so that we get a deeper understanding. And if you want to plant something big, you got to dig deeper. You got to turn the soil more. And so the principle is what we're going to dig into the word here and dig deeper into what Jesus was sharing. He shared these parables, and then the disciples asked him to come and give him more understanding of what the parable meant and what it understood. And we got to Matthew chapter 13, verse 14 last week, where he referred to a scripture in Isaiah in chapter 6. And I want to look at that a little bit closer. That prophecy that Isaiah gave, that Jesus referred to here, was referring to a group of people that would have ears but not hear, would have eyes but not see, that their understanding wouldn't be enlightened, that they would just consider or continue to exist, and sometimes not very well. Sometimes they were even overcome and enslaved and everything else and imprisoned because of the lack of understanding of who God was and how powerful he could have been in their midst if they allowed him and not trusted in man more than they trusted in God. And so hopefully we can learn these principles too. And so today I'm going to turn over to Isaiah chapter 6, and I'm going to pick up this prophetic word that Isaiah gave. This is the story. If you go back to verse 1, you see where Isaiah is in the temple and so forth. And I don't want to cover the first 8 verses, but I would just want to tell you just a little bit of context. Is Isaiah comes and an angel of the Lord comes to him, and he is so overwhelmed by the presence of God that he is claims that he is, in verse 5, he says, "Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts." Now this visitation of this angel, literally seeing the presence of God, opened up the eyes of Isaiah, and to say where his mindset before was, woe is me, and I'm in a group of people, or I'm in a church, or I'm in a country where of a people of unclean lips. We're all sinners. We're not good enough. We are under shame. And this angel of the Lord flies into the midst of him, takes a coal off of I believe, the altar of incense, which it represents the praises of the saints. And he comes on the scene here and he says, look, he takes this coal off, this fiery coal, and he puts it on Isaiah's mouth and tongue, and it touches his lips with it. Now, if that was just a natural incident, it would have burned his mouth, burned his lips, where he probably wouldn't be able to speak for some time to come. But this was a spiritual lesson being learned. And again, as I shared in weeks past, Jesus taught these parables a natural story to reveal a spiritual principle. And this is what's taken place here. Yes, I believe it literally happened, but it happened in the spirit. So he touches his lips, and instantly, after the voice of the Lord says to him, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" This instantly has changed his from "woe is me," or how bad things are and how bad the people are. It instantly changes Isaiah's words and voice to say, "Here am I, send me, I'll go." And because of the cleansing power of the fire of God, we fear it because we think it's going to destroy everything. But sometimes there's a cleansing that comes with fire and water that we don't always understand. And again, that's the purpose of this podcast, is to understand a deeper revelation, a deeper revealing of what Christ is trying to reveal to us. And so he gives this prophetic word. This is what I want to cover real briefly here. It says, verse 9, he said, "Go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not." Again, this is what we talked about last week, is they have ears, but they can't hear. They can have eyes, but they can't see. They can't perceive what they're seeing and what God is doing. And it says, make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. Understand that he's referring to the condition of the country at that day, of Isaiah's day, and saying that they've grown fat, they've grown lazy, they've grown tiresome. They think that abundance comes from just hoarding up as opposed to giving out. And they've lost their ears are heavy, they can't hear anymore, their eyes are heavy, they can't see, they're tired, they're sleepy, and so forth. And so what he's trying to do is get them to convert their hearts back and be healed. Verse 11, then said I, Isaiah, said, Lord, how long? And Isaiah's question back, how long before hearts are converted? How long before they're healed? How long before they begin to listen again? How long before they begin to see again? And so we look at this and we say, man, how long? I'm tired of beating our heads against the wall here. We're not getting anywhere. No one's being converted. Lives aren't being changed. Lives aren't being touched. How long? And God answers him and says, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. And the Lord have removed men far away, and there be great forsaking in the midst of the land. I'll stop there at the end of verse 10, because I understand this is a principle that he's showing them, that this natural nation of Israel was destroyed. It was overturned. It was conquered. It was laid desolate. Jesus prophesied in Matthew 24 about not one stone being left upon another. This was the end of this natural covenant, this natural seed, this natural people. Now, the natural people were scattered throughout the world, but Jesus, as we go back to our scriptures in Matthew 13, you'll see that this is the culmination of what Isaiah was prophesying. This is what changed what Isaiah was prophesying. How long is this going to go on? Until the cities are wasted, until nobody lives here anymore, until the houses are without man and the land be utterly desolate. That has happened. Now what we have to refer to is what is Christ referring to in Matthew 13, Mark chapter 4, and Luke chapter 8, where he's revealing to the disciples a deeper knowledge that Isaiah prophesied about. This is the culmination. This is the fulfillment of the prophetic word from Isaiah in Jesus, saying, okay, the city will be scattered, but God is about to bring out a people. God is about to confirm a covenant that will change this world forever. And he did that by his own blood, by his own sacrifice, in his death, his burial, and his resurrection. We should be excited about this, because God is overturning all of the unseeing, all of the unhearing, all of the unlistening. He's revealing to us in this day and time a new time where we can now see, hear, and believe about the presence of God coming here on the earth. And so we're going to talk more about that next week. So God bless you until then.